Hey y'all, welcome back to Rolling with Stone. So if you want to see how I got this look, then keep on watching. So I start off using the Scandinavia primer spray as a primer. And then I go in with the Hourglass stick foundation for my foundation. And then as you can see, I'm using the Makeup Forever stick as well in between, just to add that nice radiant finish. And then I'm using the Hourglass brush to go ahead and buff that out. Now I'm going in with the new Becca Aqua Concealer. I do have a review of this concealer. I am really liking it, you guys. It is so smooth. Yeah, and then I'm going ahead and adding some of MAC's Pro Longwear Concealer in the color NC42, just to kind of brighten that highlight up, and using the same Hourglass brush to blend that out. And I really like using the same brush that I used with my foundation to blend out my concealer, because I feel like it makes it more seamless. You have the color of your foundation still on the brush, so it just sort of gives it a seamless finish and blends it out without being too splotchy. And then I'm taking the Laura Mercier translucent powder on this big fluffy brush just to set my highlighted areas. And then go ahead and doing some contouring with my NYX Conceal and Correct palette using the darkest color, and a stippling blending brush from Real Techniques. Now the reason why I use that big fluffy brush to set my contour instead of like a sponge or baking, it seems like when I use a sponge or something like that and apply it too heavy, it looks really dry. So I just put a little bit on there. I don't want it looking too dry or too matte. So I'm going in with a paint pot. I haven't used paint pots in a long time, but lately I've been bringing it back. So I'm using MAC's paint pot in the color Laying Low as an eyeshadow base. And then I'm taking the Zombies palette from BH Cosmetics in the reddish color, that reddish brown color, and just blending that in the crease as my crease color and transition at the same time. And then blending out with a Morphe blending brush. And if that color goes up too high, that's okay, because when I clean up my brows, the concealer will go ahead and tone that down. So now I'm using the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in the color Espresso to go ahead and fill in my brows. And then using that felt tip brow pen by Milani to fill it in just a little bit more, just to add a little bit of a blondish tint to it, just slightly. It just makes a very slight difference, and I like the way it looks. And then I'm going to clean up my brows with the Pro Longwear Concealer by MAC in the color NC42. And then I'm just taking a Real Techniques flat brush and just to kind of work that concealer down a little bit, so it could give me a nice highlighted look under the brow, and at the same time cleaning up the brow. I'm just blending a little bit more so everything can be seamless. And now I'm going in with the highlight from the Zombies palette. And it's actually a really pretty highlight. I love the way it turned out. I never really use this color. And then I also use it to highlight down my nose, and I'm gonna also use it to highlight in the inner corner of my eyes. I did add some lashes off camera, and I used the Vegas Nay lashes in Grand Glamour. And I'm adding a little bit of blush, which is that middle color from the Zombies palette, which is probably one of my favorite blushes right now. And for the lips, I am using the color Cyberworld by MAC, the lip liner by Cyberworld. And then just kind of like filling it in so I won't have like a harsh line and then a lipstick. Then after I blend that, I'm going to go in with, I think it's called Bold Spring Mineralized Lipstick by MAC. So that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, thank you for rolling with Stone.